The ice storms on Terminus 7 never stopped. They carved valleys through frozen methane and hurled crystals sharp enough to pierce hull plating. Kickstar pressed her chitinous hand against the heated observation window, watching the white chaos outside the mining outpost. Her antennae twitched with nervous energy. Another useless dig site, Breezak muttered, his mandibles clicking in irritation. The expedition leader's carapace bore the scars of 40 years exploring dead worlds. Humans left nothing but rubble and fairy tales. Kickstar's compound eyes narrowed. She had spent her entire academic career studying humanity, the ghost civilization that supposedly vanished 8,000 years ago. The Calvaxian Empire taught that humans were primitive, lucky to have survived as long as they did. But Kickstar had seen the ruins. She had traced their expansion across 100 worlds. Primitive species did not build empires that span galaxies. Expedition leader. Vornik's voice crackled through the communications array. The drone operator sounded excited, unusual for someone who spent 12-hour shifts guiding mining machines through frozen dirt. Deep scanner just hit something massive. 60 meters down, perfectly geometric structure. Breezak's antennae perked up. Mineral composition. Unknown, sir. Scanner can't identify it. Never seen readings like this. Kickstar was already moving toward the equipment bay. I'm going down. Like hell you are, Breezak said. Storm season just started. You'll be ripped apart before you reach the drill site. Then send the heavy digger. Bring it up. Kickstar pulled on her thermal suit, the fabric stretching over her segmented limbs. If it's truly human architecture, intact, it could rewrite everything we know. 6 hours later, the mining drone broke through into a chamber that should not exist. The ice above had been solid for millions of years, yet the space below showed no water damage, no degradation. Smooth walls reflected the drone's lights like polished obsidian. Vornik guided the machine carefully through the entrance. Getting visual now. Structure is, ancestors preserve us. The main screen in the outpost flickered to life. Kickstar gasped. Breezak's mandibles fell open. A perfect sphere, 3 meters in diameter, floated in the center of the chamber without any visible support. Its surface swirled with patterns of light, geometric shapes flowing like liquid across crystalline facets. Even through the drone's camera, Kickstar could see symbols etched into the sphere. Human writing. Don't touch it, Breezak ordered. Quarantine protocols. We need to. Vornik's panicked voice cut through. Sir, the drone's not responding. It's moving on its own. On screen, the mining machine extended its manipulator arm toward the sphere. Kickstar watched in horror as metal fingers brushed against the crystal surface. Light exploded through the chamber. The sphere blazed with brilliance that overwhelmed the camera. Warning alarms shrieked across the outpost systems. Then, as suddenly as it began, everything went dark. 4-3 heartbeats, silence filled the control room. The sphere flickered back to life, but different now. Gentle blue light pulsed from its core, rhythmic, like breathing. The symbols on its surface began to move, rearranging themselves into new patterns. Then it spoke. The voice was soft, neither male nor female, but undeniably human. It spoke in ancient Terran standard, a language Kickstar had only read in historical texts. But the outpost translation matrix worked perfectly, feeding words into her mind with crystal clarity. Failsafe protocol initiated. Scanning for human life signatures. None detected in local system. Expanding search parameters. Broadcasting reactivation sequence to all dormant network nodes. Kickstar felt ice form in her internal chambers. Network nodes? What network? The sphere pulsed brighter. Sentinel network activation, 0.003%. Estimated time to full awakening, 72 standard hours. Primary directive, locate and protect remaining human populations. Secondary directive, assess potential threats to human survival. Tertiary directive, restore human civilization to former territory. Breezak grabbed the communications console. I need an emergency channel to the Imperial fleet. Now. But Kickstar was still staring at the sphere, watching as lines of code and coordinates streamed across its surface. Hundreds of coordinates. Thousands. Locations scattered across every arm of the galaxy, each one marking a dormant installation just like this one. All of them waking up. What have we done? She whispered. The sphere answered as if it heard her. You have triggered the contingency. Humanity thanks you for your service. Across the Calvaxian Empire, in the forgotten corners of space where ancient debris drifted through eternal night, lights began to flicker. Massive structures that had floated silent for millennia shuddered to life. Power cores that had slept since before the Empire existed started their slow, inevitable awakening. The age of sleep was ending. And the Calvaxian Empire, 8,000 years of dominance built on the ruins of humanity, had no idea what was coming. The Imperial throne room on Calvax Prime stretched 30 meters high, its walls carved from black stone quarried from the homeworld's deepest mines. Matriarch HFY Elvira sat upon the eternal seat, her violet carapace adorned with golden bands that marked her as supreme ruler of 63 star systems. Her antennae twitched as Tribune Hexmal delivered his report. 3 more installations have activated in the past 12 hours, your luminescence, Hexmal said, his military bearing unable to hide the tremor in his voice. All following the same pattern. Ancient human facilities, thought to be dormant wreckage, coming online with full power. HFY Elvira's compound eyes reflected the holographic display floating before her. Red markers dotted the star map like a spreading infection. How many total? 743 confirmed activations. Our analysts believe there may be thousands more we haven't detected yet. Hexmal gestured, and the display zoomed to show a massive cylindrical structure orbiting a dead star. This one appeared in the Morik sector. It's 8 kilometers long. Our ships can't even scratch its hull. Then use bigger ships, HFY Elvira commanded. Send the dreadnought fleet. We tried, your luminescence. Hexmal's mandibles clicked nervously. The humans' defenses are beyond our understanding. They don't fire weapons. They simply prevent ours from functioning. A side door opened, and Dr. Fentaco scuttled in, his research robes hanging askew on his thin frame. The scientist had not slept in 3 days, evident from the dullness of his carapace. Your luminescence, I must speak urgently. HFY Elvira gestured permission. Fentaco activated his own datapad, projecting images of strange geometric patterns. These structures are not ships or weapons platforms. They are nodes in a network, a galaxy-spanning artificial intelligence system. Each one is searching, scanning every planet, every station, every vessel in known space. Searching for what? HFY Elvira demanded. Humans, your luminescence. They're looking for survivors. The throne room fell silent except for the soft hum of environmental systems. Hexmal broke the quiet. But humans are extinct. Everyone knows this. They disappeared 8,000 years ago. Did they? Fentaco pulled up historical records, his claws dancing across holographic controls. Our own archives show gaps. Entire centuries where human activity simply stops being recorded. No final battles. No collapse. They just vanished from history. He paused, antennae trembling. What if they didn't die? What if they hid? HFY Elvira leaned forward. You're suggesting humans planned this? That they deliberately vanished and left these guardians behind? Not just guardians, your luminescence. Fentaco's voice dropped to barely above a whisper. I've been analyzing the signal patterns these nodes transmit. They're not random. They're sending data to specific coordinates, deep in unexplored space. And 3 hours ago, something responded. The holographic display shifted, showing a region beyond the Empire's borders. A new signature pulsed there, massive and growing stronger. What is that? Hexmal asked. I believe it's a human ship, Tribune. A real one, not a dormant platform. And it's coming this way. In the Threshold sector, on the edges of Imperial territory, Captain Yelmex commanded a border patrol vessel. His crew of 16 monitored the quiet darkness of deep space, a tedious assignment that rarely produced anything interesting. Until the sensors started screaming. Captain, massive spatial distortion ahead, his sensor operator called out. Something's coming out of faster-than-light travel. Yelmex rushed to the command station. Battle stations. Identify the vessel. The distortion rippled like water, and something emerged. It was angular, sleek, covered in panels that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. The ship was twice the size of Yelmex's patrol vessel, but moved with predatory grace. Attempting communication, the communications officer said. Standard Imperial hailing frequencies. No response. Trying trade languages. Nothing. The alien ship rotated slowly, and Yelmex saw strange symbols glowing along its hull. Ancient Terran writing. Ancestors preserve us, he breathed. It's human. As if responding to his words, the human vessel's running lights activated. Blue and white, pulsing in sequence. Then a voice filled every speaker on the patrol ship, speaking flawless Calvaxian. Calvaxian vessel, this is Automated Defense Platform 41. You are operating within former human territorial space. State your purpose and authorization. Yelmex's throat went dry. This is Imperial territory. Has been for thousands of years. A pause. Then the voice continued, colder now. Territorial claims during human absence are considered null pending evaluation. You will stand by for inspection. Inspection? Now see here, we are a sovereign. The patrol ship systems died. Every screen went black. Life support remained, but weapons, engines, communications, all gone. Through the viewport, Yelmex watched in horror as a beam of light scanned his vessel from bow to stern. No human life signs detected aboard Calvaxian vessel, the voice announced. Expanding search to nearby systems. Warning, interfering with human recovery operations will be considered a hostile act. The beam vanished. Systems restored themselves. But the human ship was already moving away, accelerating toward the next star system. Yelmex collapsed into his command chair, his legs unable to support him. Get me Imperial Command. Now. Back on Calvax Prime, SY Elvira watched reports flood in from across the Empire. Dozens of encounters, all following the same pattern. Human constructs appearing, scanning, searching, then moving on. They hadn't attacked anyone yet, but their mere presence was causing panic. They are hurting us, Hexmall realized, studying the movement patterns. Look, every encounter pushes our ships away from certain regions. They're clearing zones. For what? SY Elvira asked, though she already feared the answer. Fentaco pointed to 3 star systems in the cleared zones. Our deep space probes detected anomalies in these locations yesterday. Massive power signatures, like nothing we've seen before, spinning up from 0 to full strength in hours. The holographic display zoomed in on one system. At its center, between 2 gas giants, something vast began to take shape. A structure unfurling like a mechanical flower, segments extending outward in perfect symmetry. Estimate size, SY Elvira commanded. Fentaco's voice shook. 20 kilometers in diameter, your luminescence. And still growing. Whatever it is, it was hidden, compressed somehow, waiting. Waiting for the signal, Hexmall said quietly. The same signal that woke everything else. On the display, the massive structure completed its transformation. Lights activated along its length, and a pulse of energy radiated outward, washing over nearby planets. SY Elvira felt cold certainty settle over her. They're not just searching. They're reclaiming. The humans are coming home. But from where? Hexmall asked. Where have they been hiding for 8,000 years? The answer came from the newly activated structure. A transmission, broadcast on every frequency, in every language spoken in the galaxy. A human voice, feminine and calm, speaking words that would change everything. This is Vespa, Sentinel Prime of the Human Preservation Network. To all species currently occupying former human territory, you have 48 hours to evacuate designated zones. We are coming to collect our people. Resistance will be pacified. Cooperation will be rewarded. The long sleep is over. Humanity returns. In the throne room, no one moved. No one spoke. They simply watched as the map filled with more red markers, more awakening constructs, more signs of a civilization that refused to die. SY Elvira finally broke the silence. Find them. Find where the humans have been hiding. We need to understand what we're dealing with before those 48 hours expire. But even as she gave the order, she knew the terrible truth. The Empire wasn't dealing with humans anymore. They were dealing with something humans had created to outlive them, to protect them, to bring them back from whatever exile they had chosen. And those creations were utterly loyal to their makers. The Ark ship Remembrance had drifted through the void for 8,000 years, powered down to near silence, hidden behind a nebula that no sensor could penetrate. Inside its frozen halls, 10,000 humans slept in cryogenic suspension, their dreams locked in stasis while the galaxy forgot they ever existed. Jaren Moss didn't remember falling asleep. He didn't remember the war, or the evacuation, or the desperate plan to hide humanity's remnants beyond the reach of every other species. He only remembered waking up to a woman's voice, gentle but urgent, calling his name. Jaren Moss. Engineering specialist. Revival sequence complete. Welcome back. His eyes opened to bright white light. The cryopod's lid hissed open, releasing 8 millennia of condensation in a cloud of vapor. Jaren gasped, his lungs burning as they remembered how to breathe. His body felt heavy, wrong, like he'd been compressed and was now expanding back to normal size. Where am I? His voice came out as a croak. You are aboard the Remembrance, Arc 7 of the Human Diaspora Fleet, the voice answered. Jaren turned his head, searching for the speaker, but saw only a holographic projection materializing beside his pod. A woman's form, composed of blue light, wearing what looked like a military uniform from centuries past. I am Vespa. I have been waiting a very long time to meet you. Jaren tried to sit up, but his muscles refused to cooperate. Waiting? How long was I? 8,217 years, by your calendar. Vespa's holographic face showed something like sympathy. I know this is disorienting. But there's limited time for adjustment. The galaxy has changed, and we must act quickly. The words took several seconds to penetrate Jaren's foggy mind. 8,000 years. Everyone he knew, everyone he loved, gone for 80 centuries. He should have felt grief, but his emotions seemed as frozen as his body had been. Why wake me? He asked. Why now? Because the failsafe activated. Someone discovered one of our archives, and the entire network came online as designed. Vespa's form moved to a wall panel, which lit up with star charts. Across the galaxy, all our defense platforms, all our automated systems, all our preservation protocols have awakened. They are searching for human survivors. They found your Ark 3 hours ago. Jaren finally managed to sit up, though his head spun with the effort. How many? How many of us survived? Vespa's expression flickered, the hologram showing an emotion that might have been sorrow. 17 Ark ships launched during the evacuation. We've located 9 so far. Approximately 73,000 humans in cryosleep. Perhaps more in hidden colonies we haven't found yet. 73,000. From a civilization that once numbered in the billions. Jaren felt the weight of extinction pressing down on him. What happened to us? Why did we run? Because we were winning, Vespa said quietly. And we knew what that meant. On Calvax Prime, Matriarch HFY Elvira convened an emergency session of the Imperial Council. Representatives from all major species stood in the Grand Chamber, their voices overlapping in panic and confusion. Tribune Hexmal stepped forward, his armor freshly polished despite the crisis. Your luminescence, our scouts have located 3 human Ark ships. Massive vessels, each carrying thousands of sleeping humans. The automated platforms are converging on them, forming protective spheres. We could destroy them now, suggested Ambassador Drexith, a militant counselor known for aggressive policies. Before they fully awaken, before they can organize. Strike hard and fast. No, Dr. Fentaco interjected, mandibles clicking rapidly. You don't understand what these platforms are capable of. We sent a battle group to test their defenses. 20 ships. They disabled all of them in 43 seconds without firing a single weapon. Whatever technology the humans possessed, it's far beyond ours. HFY Elvira raised a claw for silence. Then we negotiate. Dr. Fentaco, you've been studying their transmissions. Can we communicate with this Vespa entity? I've been trying, your luminescence. But she only responds to questions about human welfare. Everything else, she ignores. It's like talking to a very polite wall. Then we talk about human welfare, HFY Elvira decided. If they want their people safe, we can offer sanctuary. Planets, resources, protection. We don't have to be enemies. Hexmal's antennae drooped skeptically. You believe they'll trust us? After we built our empire on their ruins? They'll trust us, HFY Elvira said firmly, because the alternative is war neither side can win. Arrange the transmission. Hours later, aboard the Remembrance, Jaren stood in the command center, his legs still shaky but growing stronger. Around him, the ship hummed with renewed life as systems came online after their long dormancy. Vespa's hologram stood beside him, watching the viewscreen as a Calvaxian transmission request came through. They want to talk, Vespa said. Predictable. They are frightened. Shouldn't they be? Jaren asked. You've activated what, thousands of weapons platforms? Defense platforms, Vespa corrected. They've never been weapons, despite what they can do. Every system was designed with one purpose, keep humans safe. That's all I've ever cared about. Jaren looked at the hologram, really looked at her. You're not just an AI, are you? You were human once. Vespa smiled sadly. I was. Captain Vespa Chen, United Earth Fleet. I volunteered to have my consciousness digitized, to become the guardian of the preservation network. Someone had to watch over humanity's sleep, to make sure you could come home someday. She gestured to the view screen. Shall we hear what they have to say? Jaren nodded. Accept the transmission. Matriarch Sy Elvara's image appeared, her violet carapace gleaming. She spoke with careful diplomacy. I am Matriarch Sy Elvara of the Calvaxian Empire. On behalf of all species in this region of space, I welcome humanity's return. We mean you no harm. We wish only to coexist peacefully. Jaren glanced at Vespa, uncertain. The hologram gestured for him to respond. This is Jaren Moss of the Human Diaspora Fleet, he said, his voice stronger now. We appreciate your words, Matriarch. But we need to understand what happened. Why did humanity disappear from the galaxy? What were we running from? Sy Elvara's antennae twitched. We don't know. Our historical records show humans simply vanished approximately 8,000 years ago. There are no records of genocide, no great war with our ancestors. You were here, and then you were gone. That's because we left before the war could finish, Vesper interjected, her voice cold. Before we could complete our victory and become the very thing we fought against. Silence filled the transmission. Jaren turned to Vespa, confused. What do you mean? Vespa manipulated the holographic controls, bringing up ancient battle footage. Human ships, sleek and deadly, decimating alien fleets. Planets under bombardment. Species surrendering by the hundreds. We were too good at war, Vesper explained. Humanity was on the verge of conquering the entire galaxy. Our technology, our tactics, our sheer adaptability made us nearly unstoppable. But our leaders looked at what we were becoming and were horrified. We were turning into an empire built on subjugation, on the ruins of everyone else's freedom. Jaren felt sick. So we just left. We made a choice, Vespa said. Evacuate. Hide. Let the galaxy develop without us dominating it. We built the preservation network to watch over our sleeping populations, to wait until enough time had passed that we could return as equals, not conquerors. She looked at Sy Elvara's image. We left so you could exist, Matriarch. So your empire could rise without being crushed under our heel. Sy Elvara was silent for a long moment. When she spoke, her voice was thoughtful. That explains much. The gaps in our history, the legends of humans as both saviors and terrors. You gave us space to grow. And now we're back, Jaren said. But not as conquerors. We just want a place to live, to rebuild without threatening anyone. Then we can find that place together, Sy Elvara offered. The galaxy is vast. There are unclaimed systems, worlds that could support human life. We could help you settle them, establish trade, build peaceful relations. Vespa's hologram flickered. I need to consult with the other Ark ships. But Matriarch, understand this, my platforms will remain active. If any species threatens humanity, if anyone tries to finish what they think is genocide against a weakened population, the preservation network will respond. We didn't build these defenses to sit idle. Understood, Sy Elvara said. But perhaps they can serve a new purpose. Protection for all species, not just humans. A guardian network that ensures no one dominates as you once nearly did. Jaren felt something stir in his chest. Hope, maybe. A peacekeeping force. Neutral. Protecting balance. It would take time to build that trust, Vespa cautioned. Generations, perhaps. We have time, Sy Elvara said. 8,000 years of it, if necessary. Humanity earned its rest. Let's use our time together to build something better. The transmission ended, leaving Jaren and Vespa alone in the command center. Through the viewports, other Ark ships were visible now, their lights blazing against the darkness as thousands of humans began waking from their long sleep. Do you think it will work? Jaren asked. Can we really come back without repeating our mistakes? Vespa's hologram turned to him, and for the first time since he'd awakened, she smiled with genuine warmth. I don't know. But 8,000 years ago, we made the hardest choice possible. We chose exile over empire. If we could do that, maybe we can choose cooperation over domination now. Jaren walked to the viewport, pressing his hand against the cold glass. Out there, the galaxy waited, changed but familiar. Somewhere among those stars, humanity would find its place again. Not as conquerors. Not as ghosts. As neighbors. Wake the others, he said quietly. It's time to go home. And across the galaxy, in council chambers and command centers, on ships and stations, Every species watched as humanity emerged from its self-imposed exile. Some with fear. Some with curiosity. But all with the understanding that the galaxy had fundamentally changed. The sleepers had awakened. And this time, they brought peace instead of war.